Hello students, today we are going to study the next pest, that is the brinjal fruit borer. In last few videos we studied the two different types of the pest. In that we already covered the jawar stem borer and red cotton borer. So here in this video we start with the brinjal fruit borer. See, this is the brinjal fruit borer, adult moth of brinjal fruit borer. Now this brinjal fruit borer if you are just study the classification of brinjal fruit borer, see it is from class insecta, order lepidoptera, family pyralidae, genus Leucinodes, and the species is the orbonalis. So this is about the classification. So from the classification, so this genus and the species, which is the scientific name of the brinjal fruit borer. See, the scientific name of the brinjal fruit borer is the Leucinodes orbonalis. That is the scientific name because it is the genus and species. Okay. So here, if you just study the different types of the host plant, actually brinjal and other plants, Solanaceae, from the Solanaceae family, they are act as the host plant, as well as peas. Okay, peas are act as the alternative host plant. So the brinjal fruit borer, it is a very important pest of brinjal, as it is the most destructive pest of the brinjal, and it is spread countrywide. Okay. So here this is the about the general information of the host plants of the brinjal fruit borer. Okay. So here we study the identification mark of the brinjal fruit borer. See, in diagram you are able to observe the adult moth. See, these moths, they are medium sized, and if we are just measure the wingspan, okay, so this is known as the wingspan, the length between the two wings. Actually, if we are going to spread these wings, so when we are going to spread the wing in the upward direction, and here also we are going to spread the wings in upward direction, as particular type of the length we get, and that length, that is the 20 mm across the spread wings. So here the wings, forewings and hind wings, we are able to observe, but actually these wings are not spread. So when we are going to spread the wings here, so the length which observed from left to right, that is about 20 mm, and the head and the thorax, which are blackish brown in a color, and the wings which are white, and they are provided with the small hairs. If you just observe towards the apical lining, okay, towards the apical lining, the towards apical and the anal margin, here the small hairs are present. Okay, so this is the identification mark. A large black colored spot and pale light brown spots, they are also found on the forewings as well as the hind wings of the adult moth. So this is about the identification mark of the adult. If you just consider about the caterpillar, see, caterpillar means the larva with many legs. So the larva with many legs, they are known as the caterpillars. So here the caterpillars, which are pale white in a color, and they are about 12 mm in a length when they grow fully. So these are the identification mark for larva. Now the next we study the next cycle, next, that is the life cycle. Next point is, so here this is the life cycle of brinjal fruit borer. Okay. So this is the life cycle of brinjal fruit borer. Actually, the female moth which lay elongated eggs, either they laid the eggs singly or they laid the eggs in small batches. And when the female laid the eggs, she always laid the eggs on the leaf surface or on the surface of shoot, or she laid the eggs directly on the fruit surface. See, these eggs which are laid back, the female. So these legs, they are hatched in 3 to 5 days, means the total incubation period required for the hatching of the egg, that is the incubation required 3 to 5 days. So after the hatching, the small caterpillar, they emerge out, and these small caterpillars actually they start to bore in that respective area where they are present, because already we studied that the female moth laid the eggs either on the leaf or shoot or on the fruit. So if it is present, if the eggs are present on the leaf, the caterpillar started to bore in the midrib of the leaf. Okay. If the eggs are laid on the fruits, the caterpillar feeds on the uh, internal tissue of the fruit. And if the female laid the eggs on the shoot, they started to bore into the shoot. So it depends where the female laid the eggs. So the eggs, when hatch caterpillar comes out, and those caterpillar they undergo the process of 5 molt. So the 5 total molts which are observed within 10 to 15 days, means the larval span is of about 10 to 15 days. So for completing the 5 larval instar, total 15 days are required. If the temperature or if the environmental factor are suitable, the larval stages completed within all the larval instar completed within the 10 days, and if the environmental factors are not that much of suitable, they require at least 15 days to complete their larval stages. Now, after the 15 days, the larva entered into the pupa. Okay, so this is the next step. See, the pupation which is takes place in the cocoon or inside the cocoon on the plant itself, and the pupation period is last for 6 to 8 days. So 6 to 8 days they are required for the process of pupation, means the pupa which is get convert itself into the adult, and for converting the pupa into adult 6 to 8 days are required. And when adult emerges out from the pupa, the adults they remain alive for 2 to 5 days. So this is about the life cycle of brinjal fruit borer. Okay, next to that thing, nature of damage, how the larva damage, or how that particular brinjal fruit borer damage the uh, host plant. So the name itself indicate that brinjal fruit borer. So specifically, these pests which directly attack on the fruit of brinjal. And see the larval stage, which is the only destructive stage, and remaining all other stages, eggs, pupa, they are not able to destroy the host plant. Even though adult moths are also not cause any type of destruction in the host plant. Means what? Only the larval stage is there, which is the destructive stage. So in the early stages, the larva bore into the shoot or into the fruit or in the leaf, because already we studied it in the life cycle that female laid the eggs on either shoot, leaf, or on the surface of the fruit. So depending on that location, these larvae which emerge out from the eggs, those larvae they entered or they just started to bore into the that particular area. So if the larvae they are present on the shoot, they started to bore into the shoot, and due to the infestation, the shoot droop down, and ultimately the shoot dry up, and the larva, it is quite possible that the larva also bore into the flower bud and the developing fruits which under the calyx, leaving no visible sign of infestation, since it is not possible for us to identify the brinjal which is get infested. बघा आपण बाजारात गेलो वांगे आणायला तरी कधी कधी आपल्याला हे वांगे किडलेले आहेत हे कळत नाही जोपर्यंत आपण हे वांग कापत नाही. मग ज्या वेळेला हे वांग कापल्या जातं त्यावेळेला आपल्याला कळतं की अरे हे वांग तर खराब आहे, पण बाहेरून बघितलं तर आपल्याला कोणतेही सिम्पटम्स किंवा व्हिजिबल साईन्स आपल्याला दिसत नाही. मग असं का होतं? कारण ते जे काही वांग असेल हे फ्रूट आहे त्या प्लांटचं. सो दॅट पर्टिक्युलर पेस्ट अटॅक इन फ्लोरल बर्ड सिच्युएशन और कंडिशन ओनली. मग ज्यावेळेला ह्या पेस्ट असतात हे कोणत्या सिच्युएशनला अटॅक करतात, तर ज्या वेळेला वांग्याला फुलं लागलेले असतात त्या फुलांवरच हे अटॅक करतात. आणि त्याच्यामुळे मग ज्या वेळेला फुलांवर अटॅक करतात ॲक्च्युली मग त्याचा इफेक्ट होतो त्या फ्रूटच्या डेव्हलपमेंटवर होतो. आणि आपल्याला कोणत्याही प्रकारचं बाहेरून व्हिजिबल साईन न दिसता डायरेक्टली ते वांग किडलेलं आहे असं आपल्याला कळतं. ओके, सो द अटॅक fruits shows the holes on them, and these holes they are plugged with the excreta, and we know that the excreta is blackish in a color, and most of the time the brinjals they are also blackish in a color. And since we are unable to identify the holes, then in case of the severe infestation in the initial stages there may be no fruiting at all. Means if there is a severe infestation the fruiting does not takes place. The pinkish larva which makes the zigzag tunnel in the fruit, and the fruits are possesses many hole on it. Such a infested fruits they are rendered totally unfit for the human consumption. And since we are not going to purchase such a type of the infested food, see here we are able to observe the small holes which are present on the brinjal. Okay, see, this is the location where the larva entered or bores the fruit. The brinjals are there, and when we cut the brinjal, cut open it, so the small holes which are observed inside the brinjal. So this is the actual larva or the larval stage, because already we studied that the larval stage is destructive. So this is the larval stage. So this is the larva. Now these larva they started to bore in the fruit. Okay. Now next to the nature of damage we study the control measure. So the affected fruits and the drooping shoots containing the caterpillar inside them, we are going to just cut them off and we are going to destroy them. So this is the cultural method. We are directly cutting the infected portion. Now there is another one method in which we are using the different types of chemicals. For example, we are using the insecticides like carbaryl, malathion, endosulfan, fuzalon, etc. And the third method is there, we called it as the biological control. So here in case of the biological control, we are using the biological agents. For example, braconid wasp and the equimonoid wasp. So these are the two example. wasp म्हणजे आपण ज्याला भुंगा म्हणतो. असे दोन वेगवेगळ्या टाईपचे व्हास्प आहेत. हे व्हास्प काय करतात, दे पॅरासाइटाइज द लार्वा ऑफ दिस पेस्ट. मग ह्या ज्या लार्वा असतात ब्रिंजल फ्रूट बोररच्या, बघा आता आपण जर इकडे बॅक साईडच्या डायग्राम मध्ये बघितलं, ही जी लार्वा इथे तुम्हाला दिसते ही जी लार्वा आहे, सो ऑन द बॉडी ऑफ दॅट लार्वा द wasp they laid their eggs and they make the larva of the brinjal fruit borer parasitize. Okay, so this is about the biological control. Means here also we are able to control the here we are also able to control the brinjal fruit borer, the pest, by three different methods. Cultural method was the first, then the second method is use of insecticide, and the third one is biological agent. Okay, so these are the different types of the control measures. And see, these are the references from which I got the images and everything. Okay, thank you.